Hello, Ty and Ian here.
Hello.
We're going to be talking to you about dark matter. Dark matter is something that composes almost all of our universe, and yet we know such a small fraction about it. And we're going to be talking about a couple theories about what it is, where it comes from. There's only a couple things we know for sure about it, is it has a gravitational pull, and
It's unlike an atom.
The one thing we do know about it is that we don't really know a lot about it. That's the thing. So, what is the first theory? Could you give us a little rundown of that?
So the first theory that's more by scientists and more of an official theory is that the dark matter is its own particle, unlike neutrons, electrons, or protons. And it makes up its own type of atom per se. It's almost like an atom, but it doesn't interact with an atom because it has nothing to do with it. It doesn't have neutrons, protons, or electrons, so sunlight doesn't pass through it. Anything that has to do with atoms doesn't interact with it. And so do you have anything to say about that?
So the dark matter doesn't refract any light, or doesn't behave with other atoms the same that we understand it. So it's not even an atom at all. It's some other type of matter, or I don't know what they call it, process or whatever.
Yeah, it's a different type of matter, which is why the second theory that we have that we'll talk about in a bit exists. People came up with it because
It's kind of tagged on.
Yeah, since it doesn't interact with any other thing, because everything's made of atoms, it's all matter. But since it doesn't interact with it, it's not the same matter. So it could be, that's why. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm getting at here is we have this substance that we don't really know what it looks like, what its structure looks like of the actual atom-like thing. So, wow, this could mean a lot. This could change the way we look at our universe.
Yeah.
Also, I think it can be in the same, because it doesn't interact with atoms, it could technically be in the same space kind of thing, right? So, it can be our atoms, and then inside there can be dark matter, kind of in the middle of it. It doesn't have to be, separate like our atoms. It's really weird. So, our moon wouldn't be orbiting the Earth without dark matter, because technically it doesn't have enough gravitational pull to stay in orbit by itself.
Which brings me to think, because it's basically it's another particle, and if they can be in one part, one space, since they don't interact, they could interact and we just don't know it because we can't see it.
Oh, so you're saying it's an interaction that isn't quite obvious.
Yeah,
at first glance.
I'm saying the possibility it could be another particle inside of an atom. It could be a neutron, a proton, and an electron. It could be part of an atom. But
so you're saying it's an extension that we haven't seen before?
It's just something I was thinking. Yeah.
So you could have supercharged atoms or something with dark matter, and then
Yeah, which is why we didn't count that in, scientists didn't count that when they were calculating the gravity affecting the moon and our Earth. So the dark matter, if they counted that in, maybe it would add up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so there's also this weird thing, because dark matter is so much more dense than our atoms as we know them. It has 6 times more of a gravitational pull. So if you take the same amount of dark matter and the same amount of our matter,
going back to the original theory.
Yeah, if you take an equivalent mass, so if you take an equivalent mass of our atoms and dark matter, it has 6 times more of a pull. So there will be patches in space where there will be a bit of dark matter here, a bit here, or there'll just be gravity to it, kind of like a little asteroid, one of those big asteroids that have gravity to it, but they're not big enough to be a planet or even a dwarf planet. So it's kind of like that, just weird patches of gravity in space.
Yeah. which ties to our second theory about that dark matter is from a different, like an parallel universe, or like
Yeah.
a mirrored universe.
Or just a neighboring universe or something like that.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen this universe, and we don't even know if this, because it's a theory, but like, let's say the theory is true, there's no way for us to really know that, like to visit that universe. And so this is kind of, it's almost like that cosmic horror stuff, like, I mean, it's not like a monster or anything like in cosmic horror, but it's unfamiliar to us, so
yeah,
it's definitely.
And this is one of those more theories that was just like built up by people that were thinking about it. It's not more like scientists didn't come with it. They don't exactly raise it because like the thought of another universe doesn't really seem as right. But people that do think that, it seems like it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it could possibly be true.
Yeah, the neighboring or alternate universe thing, it's like, I've heard scientists talk about alternate universes a lot, but I think when it comes down to it, we don't like the idea of the possibilities. Like, it's a little bit too far out there for them to worry about. Like, it doesn't affect us directly, so they just don't think about it too hard because.
Yeah, they try to find a closer solution.
Yeah.
More reasonable.
Or a more logical explanation that is not logical, but more explainable and more known and more certain.
Yeah, because
dark matter.
There's nothing proving that there's any other universes other than ours.
If there was another universe leaking into ours, then possibly our atoms could be leaking into that universe also. And in that universe, those atoms might be unfamiliar, might be just as unfamiliar, weird, and unexplainable as dark matter is to us, which is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree.
Any other? It could be, so when you break an atom apart, those little pieces are no longer an atom?
Yeah.
Well, it's not even those, because...
It's the different particles, electrons, neutrons, and protons.
So, do you think this could just be a different material structure from within our universe? Like, let's just say there's a very far away planet or area of our of our universe, sorry, and it just happens to be so far away that we have no experience really with this thing. But I mean, in a way, it's all around us. I mean, 85% of our universe.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just another horizon of science. Like, before we didn't even know about germs, So maybe it's just another step in our learning about the universe that we live in.
Yeah, and it could potentially, if we find out exactly what it is, if we find a way to like view it, because it currently is potentially invisible. Like, we have no way of viewing it right now because it doesn't interact with atoms, so nothing that we use, because everything's made of atoms as far as we know. But if we do find a way to view it, we can probably use it to create better things.
Cooler tech.
Yeah.
And maybe possibly like faster, more efficient ways of doing things. Like, maybe space travel will be easy because with dark matter, you could just have a gravitational pull that, instead of pushing a starship or some sort of spaceship or shuttle or something, you could just have this big clump of dark matter that we somehow put in one spot, and then the spaceship just goes pulled by that, and then it's pulled by a different one over here, so it just like pulls it like that.
Instead of pushing it, you can pull it.
Yeah. Maybe it's just maybe this is atoms and this is dark matter, and they just kind of go together.
Yeah.
And they, where atoms go, dark matter goes. Or another idea, maybe dark matter is just everywhere, and then our atoms were created later. So dark matter is actually kind of the first one, but because of its very hard to study attributes, we can only see the results of it, like the gravitational pulls in space. The fact that there's enough pull of the Earth and the Moon around the Earth to keep them in orbit.
Which is the only reason why we know that dark matter exists.
Because it has to exist, because if it didn't exist, we wouldn't be circling the sun, or the moon wouldn't be circling us. So,
yeah.
Anyways, I think that's a wrap. If you'd like to tell us any ideas you'd like to talk about or have us, put up here on the channel, just say so in the comments, like the video. Also, subscribe if you like this stuff. Also, if you'd like any new videos, just tell us. I was thinking AI, extraterrestrials, like time, maybe history stuff that is mysterious or strange, or any other
weird ideas you
would like to talk about. Just shoot us a comment and we'll try and make that happen.
Yeah. Personally, I'd like to talk about time.
Yeah, time is an interesting thing. It's kind of half man-made, half natural law. It's weird.
It's very confusing.
So, alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.